Welcome back to the Sandbox Adventures. Preston and I are back in the garage, and this little guy has his boomstick. Preston's all geared up to do some demo. Got the boomstick. What are we gonna demo?
The closet.
We have this closet over here that's just honestly in the way. We keep our lawnmower in there, and there's some shelves, but they're all breaking. So we want to clear that space, get my woodworking equipment over there so that we can fit the sandbox right here, and also the baby bronco over there, because that's our daily driver. Speaking of the sandbox, Preston, what's going on with the sandbox?
The fuel pump is bad.
2 weeks ago, Preston and I replaced the relay for the blinker, parked it, and then there she is, right where I left her. Went to start it, it wouldn't start. So we can hear the pump prime, but that's all it does. I want to check to see if there's any fuel pressure with the fuel rail before we do anything. But the sandbox is over there. I do not want to work on the street with it, so we need to get it in the garage. But in order to get it in the garage, we need to get all the stuff out of the way, and hence this demo project. Okay, so real quick, our plan is to move a bunch of stuff out. And then we're going to start demoing, throwing all the scraps in our new trailer. Check out that video if you're interested in building a Harbor Freight trailer. And then we're going to get the sandbox back in the garage. Out of the closet. Now before we demo, we want to prep our trailer. So here in Arkansas, you have to have your trailer covered. So we're thinking we're gonna kind of make our trailer into the burrito with a tarp. Where do we keep our tarp?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, sure? I know where. It's right here in our little red toolbox.
Oh.
There it is. Shelves are particle boards, so we're throwing those out. These ones actually look like they're real wood. Yeah, which one should I go for?
That one.
This one?
Yeah.
We'll see whichever one. I just hit. Here we go. One and done. We'll just let gravity do the work. Think this will knock it out, Preston? How about now? That didn't take much. Okay, give this one a good whack. You know, Mom's missing out on all the fun. Alright, Preston, clean this up. You gonna clean this up?
No.
Why do I have to clean it up? This isn't fair. We have a wiring exposure. What did we do first, Preston?
We had to unattach it from the wall.
Yeah, but first we turned the power off, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't want to get electrocuted, so we turned the power off. We also tested with this stuff right here to make sure it was indeed the right breaker to it. And then also, before you start demoing a wall, make sure it's not load bearing. I know this one's not because our garage has roof trusses that span to the outside wall. And it's also not a shear wall, so we're good in that department. Preston and I were trying to be selective in what we demoed because we're gonna have to do the finish work, and the more careful we were, the less we'll have to do later. So, Preston, do you know why we left the top plate of the walls up there?
For the insulation.
Yeah, so our attic is filled with insulation, blow-in insulation. So if we were to take that top plate down, all the insulation would fall out. So we're gonna leave that there until we decide to do some drywall patches, which is not gonna happen right now. It's a new Saturday. Preston and I are back in the garage, and we need to get our trailer full of the debris from when we knocked down the walls out of the garage so that we can get the sandbox in it to fix it. So, Preston, what's the game plan?
To put the trailer hitch.
Yes. We need to put the trailer hitch on the Bronco Sport because, again, the sandbox is not running currently. So, where did we stash that guy? Oh, that's not light. So we have an adjustable hitch because the sandbox and the Bronco are at different heights. And I think this is set up for the Bronco currently.
That's the right height now. That's the order it goes.
Going up or down? Go down. Yeah, so we can double up. Release the pin. We take the tire. There we go. It's out of the way. So we need to put the side back on and then fold up the tarp. But we also have a bunch of junk over there that we're going to be taking to the dump also. Most of that actually was here from the previous owner. It's kind of a bummer that it became my mess. So Preston knows this, but you don't know this yet. I do not have much experience backing up trailers. I've only done it a handful of times in my life, and they never turned out pretty. So we may or may not run into something. I don't know. We'll see how my spotter does helping me out here. Preston said I'm close enough. Let's see how close I got. I called this a win, Presto. Good job spotting. Okay, so we're gonna get this stuff onto the trailer, and then we're gonna hook the Bronco up to the sandbox and tow it into the garage. We got our Ryobi table saw that died on us when we were building the trailer. Preston and I think we've had this thing for over 10 years, so we got our use out of it. But I have a good thin curved blade on there that I want to take off. But we can't find our adjustable wrench. I think it's in the sandbox. But we're going to take this off real quick using some pliers or channel locks. What do you call these again, bud?
Channel lock.
Channel locks. Works for me. Let's get this guy off. It's a new day. Preston and I got rained out last time, but we're finally ready to move the Jeep into the garage. How are we gonna do it, bud?
To push it with the Bronco.
Push it or pull it?
To pull it.
Yeah, we're gonna pull it. Show you what we got hooked up. So we have a soft shackle, a strap to another soft shackle. Aubrey's in the van, or not the van, Aubrey's in the Jeep. She doesn't want to be seen, so she's gonna try not to run into us. We're gonna pull it with the baby Bronco. Preston's gonna be at a safe spot and watch us to make sure nothing bad happens. There, let's find your spot. Preston, one thing we want to make sure we don't do is run into the mailbox.
Yeah.
So if you start looking like we're gonna run in the mailbox, hit your horn. Okay. All right, here we go. Okay, we're gonna try to push it the rest of the way into the garage. See how that goes. The Jeep is heavy. We should have had Preston help pull. Right?
Yeah.
You need to put a little hitch on your wheelchair. Okay, challenge now is to get the Jeep situated such that we can park the Bronco in here. So I think we're gonna get some wheel dollies after I catch my breath. It is yet another day. Man, life keeps on getting our way. That and the weather. We're back in the garage. We had to go all the way to Little Rock to get some vehicle dollies from Harbor Freight because Benton, where we live, they didn't have any in stock. But Preston and I are going to put them together real fast, and then what are we going to do with them, bud?
Move the sand.
Yeah, we're going to move them, put them underneath the sandbox, spin the sandbox around, and then shove it over there in the corner. Not yet? Alright. Holler at me when you think we're high enough. Yep, well, we don't want close, we want enough. Okay, presto, we're gonna unlock the dollies and then spin the sandbox around. Think we can make it spin?
Yeah.
I think we can make it spin. The invention of the wheel is amazing. And voila, we got the sandbox in its final resting place, at least for a while. Preston, do you think that was hard?
No.
Yeah, me neither. But the vehicle dollies is fairly easy. Without it, that would have been hard pushing it back and forth. Well, Preston and I knocked down some walls, got the sandbox back inside so we can do some repairs. That's going to wrap it up for this one. Till next time, ciao.